Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, to belongings to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth, and Lord willing, it can be edifying. And real quick, man, I'm going to do basically a war news update. All right. I get this information from War News 24/7, which it is in Greek. All right, but if you see this little button at the bottom, it's going to translate it to English for us. All right, this is a Greek news platform, and they basically bring war news all the time, and this is a good tool to use. Put it in your daily routine of updates, so to speak, so that you can keep up with what's going on, man. There's so much going on as far as prophecy is concerned. Different things from Chinese ships following United States ships and down to China, which I need this to reload so I can translate it, to what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. All right. And the spirit has been on Russia to speak more about World War III. All right, which shows that it's close. Now, of course, I always have to mention that before the World War III can fully pop off, which is going to end in thermonuclear destruction, all right, the MOTB, all right, the MARC, the Charagma, has to be implemented throughout the earth. And I'm not sure why this is. Need this to translate. Salakia. Let's get this going. Bear with me for a second. Come on. There we go. All right, you got a couple articles. All right, you have in Australia. All right, it says China, Russia conflict is coming. Prepare for war. U.S. also threatens military action. All right. You have this is going on in Ukraine. Evacuate Odessa. Drone and grenade attack on military base in Transnistria. Armed battle. So you have conflict still going on with Russia and Ukraine. On the Romanian front, you have the Ukrainian fighters take off from Romanian airports and bomb Russian forces. Right. Keep going down. Just different things he's speaking about. There's one that I was looking at. You also have this with Russia-Israel crisis. Moscow threatens to shoot down Israeli fighters. Israeli occupation of the Golan Heights. So, scriptures also speak about, the least of the flock drawing them out. Something could happen between Russia and Israel, or Israel and Iran, all right, because that's going to be America's main ally. Even if NATO allies of America is going to turn on America, Babylon the Great, and is going to shoot their missiles upon this place. But the scriptures do speak about the least of the flock drawing them out. So these Israelis, which is the tribe of Amalek, all right, they're Edomites, all right, they're not the people of the Lord. Something can happen between them as well. There was one where Russia was speaking about World War III. Let's see. It might not be on this main page, but let's look into this article real quick. And then we'll get some scriptures and close it out through the Spirit. And we use different articles like this to measure the time diligently, man. All right, the Lord has put the Spirit on different individuals to create these different platforms so that we can see what's going on a worldwide stage. You have to think about it. This wasn't something that was prevalent, decades and centuries ago, right? Where we get this news instantly. So going into this article right here from Australia, China-Russia conflict is coming. Prepare for war. U.S. also threatens military action. Let's read a little bit of it. It says a barrage of threats of military action has been unleashed by Australia and the United States following the red line statements on the issue of China's base in the Solomon Islands. Australian Defense Minister Paul Dutton stressed in a speech that the country must prepare for war. And that's the spirit that the Lord is putting on these nations. All right, all these nations, it's going to be a third world war where all these nations are going to, in one way or another, those that have missiles and don't, even though most of them have missiles now, are going to be forced to pick a side. There was news that came out yesterday that Finland and Sweden was going to put in their application to join NATO, which Finland is right on the border of Russia. So that's gonna, which, a brother made a good statement to the spirit that's very dumb because Russia is right there. If they're on the border, it would be better if you sided with Russia instead of the United States. All right, Russia can't. All right, what did they do just now? Russia can't. The United States can't really save you, so to speak. Yeah, they have military bases everywhere, but hey, Russia can bomb the hell out of Finland, man. Which Russia spoke about military action against Finland and Sweden if they decided to do that. So, there's no peace coming, man. All right. Once again, it says Australian Defense Minister Peter Dutton stressed in a speech that the country must prepare for war. At the same time, he compared China and Russia to Nazi Germany in the 1930s. So you see that, and that was speaking about World War II. That division is coming. It says his speech was on Anzac Day, Australia and New Zealand's National Remembrance Day, which generally commemorates all Australians and New Zealanders who have served their country and died in all war. It's like a Memorial Day, right? So that he's basically saying that they're painting that narrative to paint Russia and China as the enemies, when really they're just other world powers that are, they think they have next. Like it says in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Russia and China believe that they have next. So, of course, they're in direct opposition to the United States and all of their allies, so they're going to paint them as the boogeyman, so to speak, to get people behind this cause, man. All right, which really, the boogeyman is the United States. All right, and its latter end is going to be thermonuclear destruction, but it says China and Russia are the Germany of 1930. More specifically, Australian Defense Minister Peter Dutton referred to the ghost of Nazi Germany, stating that Australia can maintain peace only in a preparation for war. And that sounds like this the saying that was on John Wick 3, and it said if you want peace, and then it says parabellum, which means prepare for war. All right, so and ultimately that's what these nations think is going to come, but there's never going to be peace as long as these Edomites are in control. Peace is only going to come, when Yahweh Shah comes and redeems his elect, and that is the kingdom of heaven that's going to be established on earth. And there is going to be war coming. There's going to be war in heaven. But nonetheless, it says at the same time, he stressed that the Australians should not assume that the sacrifices of the Anzacs will prevent future conflicts in the region. And that's speaking about Australia. So Australia seems like they're siding with the United States, right, which all these nations are going to come against the United States. So just reading a little bit of this article, they're speaking about they must prepare for war. These nations are preparing for war. Right, this is biblical prophecy playing out before our eyes. Let's show you in the scriptures. I'm gonna read this chapter right here. All right, Joel chapter 3. And I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? The other nations. Prepare war. See? That we read exactly that in the article. The Lord is putting it in their spirit because according to Proverbs 21st chapter, all right, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and as rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So, the Lord instructs the minds of these kings to what? Prepare war. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and prepare, and your pruning hooks into spears, right? And we've come to understand that this is speaking about the money that they would use for agricultural and farming, right? It's to be used to build up their military presence by way of what? The tanks, the fighter jets, planes, ultimately that glittering sword, those thermonuclear missiles, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? It says, let the weak say I am strong. And why are they saying I'm strong? Because all of these nations have nuclear capabilities now. Even the ones that are in opposition, mainly the ones that are in opposition to the United States. Back during World War II, when they dropped those atomic bombs, the United States dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Uh, that nobody else had that technology at that time to be able to wield that power. So America's held a stronghold on the world as the world superpower up until then, or ever since then. But now you have Russia, China, North Korea, even India, all right, even Iran obtaining this nuclear arsenal. So that's the weak saying that I'm strong. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, the valley of the Lord's judgment, decision. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And that's where that main conflict is going to take place over in the Middle East. And America, Babylon the Great is going to be utterly destroyed, and you're going to have Israel, or our land, which these gutter rats are inhabiting now, is going to be cleansed and wiped out. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So, you can read all the way down, man. This, as it says in Isaiah 9:5, every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And Russia's constantly warning about being a third world war. He said if NATO gets involved, all right, with this conflict in Ukraine, which they have been involved, all right, it just came out that they found Russia found Great Britain SOS or SAS private. It's like basically our spec ops. I forgot. I don't know if it's whether we're dealing with the CIA or these private operatives. That go into these countries and they pretty much be undercover. They could be acting like they're Ukrainian military. Right, but it's the SAS. It might be the Delta Force, but I'm not sure. If a brother more into that, they could tell me on the comment board. But they found those operatives in Ukraine. So really that war with Russia and NATO has already pretty much began on a small level, and it's going to intensify. And ultimately, it's going to end with that thermonuclear destruction. All these countries are going to shoot their missiles on each other, and mainly they're going to shoot it on America. Something's going to happen, and the Lord is going to cause these nations to shoot and burn America with fire. So that's the spirit that's going out, that spirit of preparing for war. All right, so, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahushua, B'Hashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, love, salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, shalom.